We are privileged once again to be speaking with Rabbi Leib Tropper Shlita on our Yad LaTorah series, the Meshiv series specifically. Today's topic is very broad but focused, which is words that matter, words of our Gedolim as they pertain to various subjects. Most imminent right now would be the up-and-coming holiday of Purim. There are a lot of things which are written all over the map, which we need to be mindful of. There's one particular statement, Rabbi Tropper, that we've talked about before, the mimer that says Purim is compared to Yom Kippur is compared to Yom Kippurim. Yom Kippur is like Purim, which means that Yom Kippur itself, with all its kedusha, sanctity, purity, and everything it can accomplish, is only like Purim. So what does that say, and what do our Chazal say about Purim?
That's $1 million question, and Rav Yitzchak Hutner in the Pachad Yitzchak Moran, Rav Yitzchak Hutner Zecher Tzadik Lavracha, the Yeshiva of Chaim Berlin, he discusses the Gro's interpretation of that mimer, which is Yom Kippurim, and I don't want to go because his is more halachic, so I'm not going to go into that particular. We'll talk about Purim in general. I don't think that there's one thing that captures the essence of Purim, and that's why it's such a high madrega. The quintessence of Purim is like such beyond the beyond of the beyond the beyond. The Rambam writes in his small Hakdama to Sefer HaMitzvot, and I mentioned it last year, that Purim teaches us one thing. Ki mi kashem Elokeinu, pasuk in Devarim. Who was like our God? Shekol karev Eleinu. He's close to us. He's close to every single yid, to you, to every woman, to every man, to every child. B'chol kareinu elav. As long as we call him, as long as we call to him.
Be'emes.
Be'emes. As long as we call to the Eibishter truthfully, then he's karev Eleinu. He's just listening. His ears was waiting to hear the words. Tefillah has great power. So for the Rambam, this is the message of Purim is not Torah, Mishleach Manis, everything else. Maybe there are other, messages that are attached to this, appended to that message. But the main message is that God is so close to us. If we could just daven. I want to share with you a few pertinent hashkafas that you said there's a variety of issues that we have to discuss. And there is one issue particularly that psychologists and even Amach Beis Yisrael, I'm not here to make decisions about what is right and what is wrong. But I want to tell you when the title which Reb Peretz mentioned, words that matter, words of the Gedolim, in fact, they're the only words that matter. They're the only words that matter. Everybody, every Chaim Yankel, every Moshe David says what they want to say, and they say, I heard it from this Rebbe, b'shem that Rebbe, b'shem this Rebbe, b'shem that Rebbe. The words of our Gedolim matter. They're the only thing that matters. After that, we have nothing that matters. Ein Ad Milvado includes that we believe in. So, I'm going to read you a little thing here that's related to human psychology and human philosophy, and that is an interesting tzavor, which I left home. Actually, I wanted to read it from the tzavor itself. I have it at home, the Nesivos. Nesivos is the Chavos Das, who his name floats around the yeshivas like a little balloon. I mean, everybody, Nesivos, Nesivos, back and forth. They talk about the Nesivos, but he used to have a little tendency towards Hasidus, in fact, a little bit, the Nesivos, as Brumberg writes in a Sefer. But I want to share with you some powerful words. Please don't be disturbed by the words. Remember, it's in Nesivos' opinion. There may be Gedolim that argue with him. But we have to take this word into consideration. They're not just some Gadol's words, some Gadol, like anonymous Gadol, the Nesivos HaMishpat, Kodesh V'Nerish Shmai. Here's the following of the words. Ahuvi, Beni, my son, my loved one. Mama Oid, or actually Bonai, my children. Mama Oid, how much tarchiku atzmachem mehasimcha v'haschik. Distance yourself from happiness, simcha, v'haschik, and frivolity. How could a person be happy? Every day, hashkem v'chatoi. Every day he gets up, there's some sin that comes across his life. If there was a person that was chayav roisha, his head, the melech basar v'dam, to be chopped off, beheaded by some king, he could be walking around b'simcha on Purim even, even on Yantiv. We deserve to be beheaded by the Eibishter for the distance that we traveled from him. Do not listen to the people who scream and yell in your ear. Don't pay attention. Look at the Sivas. That's all tantalizing words of the Yetzer Hara to ultimately capture you and catch you and make you slip and make you fall into other traps. The Schok v'kalas reish, frivolity, brings a person to terrible sins. Just don't get into those things. A mitzvah, when you're doing and performing a mitzvah, that requires and demands simcha, happiness. The Chazon Ish even says there's no distinction between doing a mitzvah of chesed and a mitzvah of shaking the lulav. There are many observant Jews that when they come to the mitzvah of lulav, not shake, they're jumping up and down. But when they do a chesed to a yid, they give it kind of, whether it's tzedakah or chesed, they give a nuisance fee, or they go to chesed to chesed, they come in and go out and lose they're waiting to leave the car on outside because they're leaving right away. I mean, there's no even time to person anybody absorb the chesed. Then you should do besimcha the mitzvah of chesed. All the mitzvahs. The Gra writes that the Roiv ha-mitzvahs hu sameach lebnei adam. Majority of mitzvahs are to make people happy. Rak b'siyas mitzvah alim in Torah yeh kavana of a simchas halev, with the happiness of heart. Leib is like not with joy, not with frivolity. Ki haschik hu mida ro'o me'oid. It's a very bad characteristic of a human being. I'm quoting you what the Moran HaGoyin Rabban shall call Yisrael. Rav Shach writes in the new sefer that just recently published called Besaras Eish. She can be found on page Pei Daled, just in case you want to check my words, which I advise you should do that. I mean, I have no problem. Another idea which Moran Rav Shach shares with us about how are we supposed to learn? In other words, how should we view learning? We don't articulate the way Rabbi Kivega did, but how did Rabbi Kivega learn? Just to hear it, so you could know what we're talking about when we open up a Gemara and a Mishnayos. I'm sure a Peretz, as I know him, probably does this in his mind and his heart. Mishnah and Beya. Beit Tzashanel Rabbi Yamtiv. Beishamay Oimrim. Teichel. So Rabbi Kivega added one thing. He said, Beit Tzashanel Rabbi Yamtiv. Beishamay says the Ratzon Hashem is Teichel. And Basil says the Ratzon Hashem is not to eat. Those two words somehow create a connection between the mitzvah and the mitzvah, between the commander and the commandee. Those words, the verbalization of that concept. The Rebbe does not want me to eat it, and one says I should eat it. Bishami says Teichal, and Ratzon Hashem is to eat it. Bishil says not. You know, the Ratzon Hashem is not. So, I think that's a very important thing, because we wear costumes on Purim. We wear masks. We should know that it's masks, and that we remind us of the masks we wear all year round. How we play with Yiddishkeit in the sense that maybe we should. I know Kulam are not Mekatri and Kalai, so they're wonderful. let's try to be better. Let's be better than wonderful. Let's be wonderful plus, wonderful with capital letters. Let's be wonderful. We have the ability to do that. We have the ability to, hopefully, Mr. Shem, bring the Mashiach Tzidkenu, I mean, as Hashem, our Maisim Tovim, if they're genuine and pure and organic, and not somehow filled with some, dirt that falls from all the areas of, where we live, the environment. Somebody asked, but this is about Frumkeit, about, somebody asked somebody, ask Rav Shach, ask actually Rav Chaskell Levenstein, the Mashgiach in Panavi, Kodesh V'Ner Shmai, Chaskell. I was able to see him one time. I got Pachat Pchodim. I went in front of his yeshiva right before the 6th day war, when I saw him, and he had a little room, actually it's a big room, and he was sitting there with a stem that looked like it came from Kelm, just like what he learned.
So Rabbi Chaskell Levenstein.
Yeah, and with old Mesil Shisham, he was sitting there himself, shuffling back and forth like Ramish, like he was talking to himself about Musa Seif. He learned maybe thousands of times, Mesil Shisham, back and forth. And it was I ran out of the room. I was scared. I was afraid. The Eish of Torah, the Eish of Kedusha will just destroy us, totally envelop us, and we'll be gone. I mean, it's just. Moran of Shach. Moran of Chaskell Levenstein. We know who he was. We don't know who he was. We don't know who his people are. We think we know. So Chaskell said this, Chaskell said that. Chaskell didn't say anything. He was everything. He was everything what he said. There's an important thing to remember. I'm sorry, I want to tell you the story. There's somebody asked Reb Chaskell in Panavish. He was trying to be very, probably genuinely so, trying to be really, 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 I don't know the word from, but severe in his approach to Tekiah Shofar. So he said, Rabbi, what kind of kavanah should I have by Tekiah Shofar? What kind of thought should I have? So he said to him, I advise you to speak to the Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Shmar and Rav Shach, about that question. So he approached Moran Rav Shach about that question, and to the great chagrin of this young man, Rav Shach said, "Should be mechaven to be yotze the mitzvah." This young man was kind of taken back. What kind of kavanah do I have to climb in heaven to do that? Please, you have to climb in heaven anywhere. You just need to do what the Eibishter wants. Kasher tzivani boiri, as Rashi says in Rosh Hashanah and Mitzvah Shirach Kavanah, to do what the Eibishter commanded us to do. That is an unbelievable fulfillment of one's mission on this world. Kasher tzivani boiri. That's where the Frumkeit begins. From there, who knows, either down or maybe it's sideways, but that's where the Frumkeit begins and ends, is Kasher tzivani boiri. Another issue, now that we talked about Yom Kippurim and everything else, this element, I know that in Persia remembers that in Kol Yaakov, in the yeshiva which I founded many, many years ago and led for a number of years, there was, the Purim time was a special time. Even in the Eish Yisrael, as Rosh Hashanah teaching, Purim was a day of everybody was crying. We were crying because the neshama opened up. The neshama opened up, and the neshama saw itself. Shaman saw itself and what it could be and what it is. It was crying. There was bechiyas. It was like Ne'ilah Yom Kippur, Yom Kippurim. It was like Ne'ilah Yom Kippur. Sit around the table in Moshe Bernstein's house or somewhere else, and it was crying. My house in Matastov. I just want to share with you what Rav Shach, Moran Rav Shach says. This should really be sobering for many of us. He says, somebody asked him about how one must do tshuva. So I'll read you what it says. Rav Shin Lamed Daled in his new sefer called Besaras Eish, Shin Lamed Daled. He says, Misha Chota, someone who sins, V'yeshlo machshavos daiga, and he has he's worried about his sins. Hein heim, those worries are, what repairs? Hirhurim noim. There are bad, evil thoughts. And worrying about those averis, and avodas Hashem. It's just an interference with the person's avodas Hashem and limit HaTorah. Because you do tshuva, you have charata on the over, kabbalah al asid, and you don't talk about it anymore. You don't think about it anymore. Dai loshev b'tshuva, b'charata v'kabbalah al haba. just to tshuva, charata. I mean, this is talking about the Rabban Shel Yisrael, Moran Rav Shach. Va'ikar l'siach das mizeh, and then to distract yourself from it. My Rabbi Moran Rav Shach, one of the Gedolim Hador in the last generation, used to always tell us, Reb Leib, say to me, when you fall in the mud, your mother is going to be angry, so what you do is just wipe it off your pants, smack it a few times, and take off the dust, and then walk weiter. And that's exactly what Rav Shach is telling us here. You have tshuva with your full heart and sincerely, but oimek halev. And then you have kabbalah lahaba. I'm not going to do it. And then hesech hadas. I'm distracted. I go read a safer storybook. I read this thing. I read that thing. I'm involved in something else.
Does Purim have applications for tshuva?
Well, a person could have that yem used as a yem tshuva if that comes to elevate the hill. But after that day of Purim, you should be back like the yeshivas at Sal Seder Foot said, "Mishenichlas av mimayim misimcha, mishenichlas adam misimcha, abisal mer, abisal veniga, a little more, a little less. So by God's you go back to being, back to avoid Hashem and do what you have to do." Ikar hatzlach zok Rav Shach, Moran Rav Shach. That's all. There's garbus Yetzirah. How does the Yetzirah overcome you? How does he take you? How does he take you apart? The only way, you take Yetzirah apart is lasiach das me'inyan, not to be gairis. Not to wait for you to overcome the Yetzirah is after you did the tshuva and the kabbalah alahaba. You're not gairis anymore. Sin is, I'm not going. No, don't leave me alone. Get out of my way. Just get out of my way. I feel even you shouldn't think machshav is tshuva anymore. Don't think about tshuva anyway after you finished. I feel not even daven for specific affairs that you've done. Generically, we daven. Fine, okay. Interesting. This comes from Rav Shach. People would not really think that it is right. Purim is a special day. Everybody talks about Purim and everybody waits for Purim. All year round, we're waiting for Purim. When Purim comes, I'm going to be just like, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be that, I'm going to be this. We're all children of all ages, as we say, waiting for Purim. To let go, to be excited, to be a besimcha, to dance together. That's not a bad thing. You're home and want to say, they're all spread out. Let's hold something in the hand and just dance together. We dance. Bez Hashem Yisbarach. And Bez Hashem Yisbarach, with that attitude, this is a small little opening to Purim. But the drinking should be the kavanah, the aliyas neshama of a person. I don't mean a dead person, a live person. At least you have a live person. The neshama should go up higher. It shouldn't be just for the sake of just, okay, I have a license to get drunk on Purim. It's not a license to get drunk. You have a license to have an aliyas neshama by drinking, by take away the restrictions that hold you back, the restraints that hold you back from climbing that mountain. Now you're a jet fighter bomber ready for takeoff. When you become that kind of a person, then you really a jet fighter bomber flying in the air, ready for takeoff. But I want to leave off with your Dessler's important words. When a person becomes an oiler, has to be careful. Rav Kook has in Sefer Oiros a tshuva about different kinds of tshuva that people do. And I just want to share with you that, Rav Dessler was against this concept of a blitz tshuva, which Rav Kook called a barak ruchani, a blitz, spiritual blitz, and you see the emes and you want to become, you have to be careful. Because if you react to that, it can be very dangerous. He says, if a bird goes on top of the Empire State Building and jumps off the Empire State and flies, so he's doing his job. But if some old man goes on top of the Empire State Building and tries to be a bird and dives off the Empire State Building, I don't want to say what he looks like when he gets down to the bottom. Well, we know what happens. Fly like a man, don't fly like a bird. With your kaiches, with your abilities. You have an aliyah on Purim, Bez Hashem. All of us have an aliyah. But when you have to fly, fly like a man. Caution. Slow. With thought. Prefaced by thought. Emotion. There's no such thing as, you could say there's such a thing that exists, but in the secular world, many philosophers taught us that there's no such thing as raw intellect. It can't stay with us. It doesn't stay. Kol v'chomer, the Eibishter's wisdom incorporates everything. Emotion. I remember Nachman Bullman once told me that there were two schools in Yiddishkeit. One was one of the Chazon Ish that incorporated emotion. One was Yoshev Soloveitchik, was less emotion, but it really incorporates everything. It incorporates Hakol Bikol Kol, Hergish, emotion, Das, everything. Eibishter should help us all that our Simchas Yom Tov should be true, full, and enjoyable to all of us. We should all carry the Aliyah. Don't let it fade the day after Purim. Let it carry us throughout our lives. Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you very much, Rabbi Leib Tropper.
Thank you.
To be continued. Be'ezrat Hashem.
Amen.